Merry meet and welcome to our stream. This is Ariel Gatoga and we are streaming live on YouTube and Twitch for a general reading for all signs. And that's for today, the 28th of March, 2023. We're streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating on YouTube are the lovely Dre and the lovely Lieri, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Deline. So thank you so much, moderators, and thank you to everybody for joining us for this general reading. I'm reading with this Universal Tarot of Marseille. Let's purify with this Agua de Colonia Concentrada by Alvarez Gomez. It's a very traditional eau de cologne from Spain. You can find out information about purchasing each of these products in the video description of this very video on my YouTube channel. Like I said, this is a general reading for all signs for today, the 28th of March, 2023. And it's going out to everybody, whether you're watching with me live or whether you're watching on a restream. It does go out to a lot of people, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, you can just disregard the reading because it's probably not meant for you. In that case, you can check out the zodiacal readings for your individual sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. And you can find all of those most recent readings on my YouTube channel or on my Twitch channel, or you can find them really easily on my website at ariels-corner.com/zodiac. That's arielscorner with a hyphen.com/zodiac. I don't read with card reversals, so you're going to see me flipping cards right side up if they come out upside down. It's just how I like to read. A lot of the decks I read don't even have cards that you can reverse, so I just don't bother with them anymore. We have a shop, and that's at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com, and we list a lot of the tarot decks that I read with, especially those that are still in print. It's an affiliate store, and you can just shop there, and we get a small commission off of each and every sale. Isn't that cool? If you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And if you're watching us on Twitch, make sure you follow us on Twitch. You can watch us on Twitch without any ads if you subscribe to us there. All right, I'm going to just shuffle maybe, I don't know, 2 more times. I haven't used this deck in a while. I really feel like it's asking for some shuffling. All right. Let's take a look, give this a nice clean cut, and see what's in store for us today, the 28th of March, 2023. Okay, we got this 9 of Swords, everybody's fave, right? 9 of Swords, we've got a Hanged Man, and we've got an 8 of Wands. All right, so the worries really get to you, and what happens is when we get stuck in those worry cycles, it's like we sacrifice ourselves on the tree of worry. We just really believe that we are victim to those worries. We believe there's nothing we can do about those worries, and it's so hard sometimes when you're hanging by a foot because of your worries to think that you can turn things around. But you can. You can turn things around. You have to learn how to put your foot down, but before you can put your foot down, you have to ask for assistance. You have to ask for whatever your sense of a higher power is. You have to ask to see it in a new way. You have to recognize that if you're feeling defeated, or you're feeling worried, or you're feeling like there's no hope, if you're feeling hopeless, there's a lot of hopelessness involved with the hangman. If you're feeling that way, that's just automatically, you know that you're looking at things upside down. That's just that's the mystery of one of the very many mysteries of this card. I'm looking at things upside down, and I don't know how to write this. I don't know how to see it the right way, but there is a part of my mind that's connected to infinite spirit that does know the truth and that can see things the right way up. And so I want to have my mind healed. I want to have my perceptions healed. That's the way you so-called pray in that regard. you don't want to necessarily pray that your worries go away. You don't want to pray that the things get fixed, because if you're in this worry cycle, you'll just come up with new stuff to worry about. Instead, what you want is you want to get rid of the whole thing by saying, I want to see this the way you see it, Spirit. I want to see the world the way you see it, not the way I see it. I'm going to stop coming up with my own solutions for a minute, because obviously they're not working, or I wouldn't be hanging from a tree like this. So, and then what happens is Spirit shows you the truth, and you say, oh, I'm not hanging from a tree. I have to put my foot down. I have to say no when I mean no. And a lot of the worries that many of us have are because we don't know how to say no. We don't know how to say no to ourselves. We don't know how to say no to other people. And no, not only is no a complete sentence, which I love that saying, no is a complete sentence. Not only is no a complete sentence, but it's also a compassionate sentence. You're not saying no because you're being mean. But see, that's what the world wants us to believe, that when we say no to something, when we say no to somebody, when we say no to ourselves even, when we negate something by saying no to it, when we bring that wonderful power of denial into something, that automatically we're being negative. So, and that we don't somehow have a right to put our foot down and say no. Yes, you do. So let today be a no day. I love no days. When the hanged man comes up, I always say, okay, today's going to be my no day. I'm going to say no when I mean no, and yes when I mean yes. I'm going to, if something presents itself to me today, before I say anything, I'm going to the first thing I'm going to entertain is this a possible no for me? Could I possibly say no to this? You don't just have to say no to everything, because some things you're going to want to say yes to. But before you do, let today be your no day. Just say, is no appropriate? If it is, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use my no power today. And when you do that, look what happens. This 8 of Wands, all these worries just come to an end. It's like everything just comes to an end. It just all completes itself. And it completes itself very organically, very non-dramatically in most cases. Very sort of like, what was the big deal? It was sort of like smoke clearing in front of your face. All because you gave yourself permission to put your foot down and say no to things. And that means saying no to yourself too. You start listening to all the worries all the time. You can just say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that today. Because what does worry do for you? It puts you up on a tree. That's the only thing it does for you, is put you up on that tree, hanging by a foot with your hands bound behind your back, right? So we're gonna not let that worry become our antagonist anymore. We have all the power to say no. All right, let's look and see here. We've got a King of Coins. We've got a 10 of Cups. Oh my gosh, no wonder we're so worried. We've got an Emperor. No wonder everybody's so worried. That's the ego. Remember how the ego works? The ego gets us upset when things are going well. When good things are in the offing, it's like, oh, let's shut it down before it happens. Why? Because the ego's programmed for self-destruction. That's all the ego is. It's not an entity. It's not a bugaboo. It's not some devil outside of you that's coming to get you. The ego is simply our own tendencies towards self-destruction, our own poorly programmed thought forms, our own tapes of self-denial and self-destruction that we have. And that's just part of being a human being. But the cool thing is we have the power of choice. We have the power to say no to the ego. And the way you say no to the ego is by saying yes to your power. Look at that power that you have, this emperor power. This is you. You have all the power. You have power over everything. You have power over these worries. You have power over this feeling of defeat and self-denial. You have power over everything. You do. You don't have, I just wrote a post this morning about how superstition is something that can rob our power, and that a lot of people think that magic is like having the right kind of rocks and having the right kind of this and the right kind of that. And those things are wonderful. Those things are wonderful as tools to focus our mind, but we're the ones in charge, not the rock. We're the ones in charge, not the potion. We're the ones in charge. We say what goes. We have the power to say yes or no, right? And so you don't want to be superstitious about your life either. You don't want to be afraid of your own thoughts. You don't want to be afraid of your own mind. You want to take charge of that mind today. Why? Because look at this 10 of Cups. All of the things that you've been wanting are ready to burst forth into manifestation. In the midst of this sort of like hanging by a thread, worrywart experience, what that's hiding in the midst of that, what that's trying to shadow for you is a happy outcome that you've been asking for. And it looks like a financial happy outcome for many of you. For many people, it's very tangible outcome of happiness. And the 10 of Cups has that promise of happily ever after, should we desire that. Now, you can see how our self-destructive thought forms are going to say, no, we don't want that. We don't want that because that goes against what they're programmed to do. But our self-destructive thought forms are not us. They're just little programs in our computer, and we have all power over them. And so what you can do today is call on that higher power, whatever you call it. It doesn't matter. You might call it the goddess. You might call it God. You might call it infinite intelligence. You might call it your higher self, or your soul. Whatever works for you is fine. Just call on that and just say, I want to see things the way they really are, not the way that my ego is projecting onto the screen of space right now for me. Because I understand that everything I see, that if it's based on these worries, is nothing but a smokescreen to hide all of this glory. And I want my power back, please. I want my power back, please. And you know what? You never lost it. You never lost your power. You just forgot you had it. Many of you, this is probably not true for everybody, but for many of us, this is true that in the midst of these worries, in the midst of these feelings of defeat, we forget that we have power over our own minds, that we have power over how we perceive things. And rather than trying to come up with a new way of perceiving things, the smart idea today is to call upon, like I said, that higher power and ask to be shown the truth. The truth. I'll tell you, the truth is really beautiful for you. The truth is you're a money master, that you have all the power over every circumstance, and that happy outcomes are your fate. These happy outcomes are exactly what the universe wants for you. So the universe, infinite intelligence, God, goddess, the creator, the source, wants one thing for you: happiness. That's it. That's the end of the story. Anything that doesn't look like that happiness doesn't come from that force. It comes from a blocking of that force. So rather than trying to, trying to navigate through all of those blocks, trying to navigate through all of that mire of fog and illusion that the ego is constantly throwing up to confuse us, we're just going to assume that all of it's just an illusion. None of it's real. We're going to let that stuff end, just like this 8 of Wands is talking about. We're going to let that end by saying, I want to see the truth. I want my world turned upside down today. And it's my right to have that. And your only job is to not indulge in those worries today. That's your only job, is to not indulge in them and to keep giving them over to that higher power so that you can put your foot down and say no. Let today be your no day. Say no to everything that doesn't look like joy. Say no to everything that does not look like wealth. Say no to everything that does not look like personal power. All of that other stuff, say no to it. Even if you don't know how, just say, I'm going to say no anyway. Something looks like it's threatening your safety or threatening your peace of mind, just say no. No to it. I deny your existence. And then move away from it, turn away from it, and put it out of your mind, and focus instead on the truth. And the truth is that you are a powerful, vibrant being who has everything going for you, and the universe wants you to be happy. So you've got the entire backing of infinite intelligence for you to have a happy day, regardless of how many worries you showed up with to begin this day. Okay, so it's a beautiful reading, and we're not going to let that ego mind keep fogging out our joy, keep fogging out our prosperity. We're going to instead claim our power, claim the fact that if it doesn't look like joy, it's not real, and I want to see the truth instead of this. we're going to be vigilant about it. Good job. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And thank you to the amazing moderator team, Dre, Lieri, and Deline. And we will see everybody tomorrow for another general reading. Until next time, blessed be.